In this video we will look at how to work with the web dashboard of Appzio. Our current application has one branch and one action inside. Typically, Appzio apps have quite a few actions, and using the pre-made actions, you can easily configure things like login and registration. In order to understand the structure, you need to understand that Appzio applications always have a state. So based on what the user has done, it has a certain state, so not all information is necessarily available. To demonstrate this, we will create a new branch. Let's call it a registration branch. And inside the registration branch, we'll create an action called registration. And as you browse through the different action types, you see a lot of pre-made actions for different uses. You can use the existing actions and create your own themes for these actions also. We'll be using an action that looks very much like our sample action. It's the registration action. Let's make it active. And define this we already checked, so we're going to be collecting photo, full name, email, and that's it. And we save it. Now, this registration branch would not be available yet here. So if we do a refresh, we still just see our first level. Let's rename that actually. So here you have the branches settings, here you have action settings. Now we clicked on the branch settings and we'll change the name to our hello. You see the change reflected here right away. Now registration branch to be active, it needs to be triggered. Again, we click on the branch editing, and there's a tab called triggering. And the default triggering is after something has completed. So once something is completed, this would become active. Now, in our case, we want this to be always on, so that it will always be active. And let's change also our hello to be always on. Let's see the change. So now we have both our hello and registration here. Let's change the order so that the registration will come as a first action. As noted, this menu view is more for development purposes than any real life case. What we can do, we can define that this registration branch becomes our whole. And in order to do it, we click on the branch settings, go on the View tab, and we have here a checkbox for when application is opened, open this branch. So this becomes our home branch now. We need to refresh the view here a couple of times. Now, in the side menu, when we go to home, we will always end up on our register page here. And as you can see here, we didn't check the refresh on update. So it's actually possible to end up in a state where you kind of locked into this action unless you complete it. Let's first define here that it will refresh on open and also pull to refresh words. Now, because we already have the state locked here, we need to complete this. So let's make a registration. Add a picture as well, so it will always automatically ask for required permissions on such case. Here's our sign up page. Now we don't have any additional fields configured, so we're finishing registration. And we ended up here. And why did we end up here? Is that we completed the first action. So the very first action is now completed, and the only active action here is our hello. What we can do here, we can change back the triggering to trigger when the previous branch is completed. So now our registration is completed, this should be made active. And then we can say that this will become our new home branch. So again, from the branch settings view, when application is opened, we'll open this branch. And we do the same thing, so we refresh, and our home is now our new action. What you notice now that our example action looks different. So we have the fields are no longer visible. This is what I meant when I was speaking about the states. The first action that we filled, the registration, changed this, the state of our application. We filled in some information. So this action will no longer show the same things.